Never mind. We're going to watch this. This is a PragerU homeless video. PragerU is like, what do we do about the homeless? How much do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet they fucking get this wrong? Probably not going to be a good thing. So this is PragerU. What do we do about the homeless? The homeless. God, those scourge. Bunch of losers. The homeless. Can't be homeless. If you don't have a home, you might as well be a criminal. That's true. That's a true thing under capitalism. Fucking stupid. That shit's so frustrating. I can't stand this. All right, okay, we're going to rip the Band-Aid off. Let's fucking go.
What do we do about the homeless?
Help them.
This is one of the most vexing public policy problems we face.
It's not. It's not vexing. It's pretty easy, actually.
You live in a big city, especially on the West Coast.
This is super easy.
You literally face it every day.
Okay, done. I can fix this. I can fix this. All right. Do you want to know how to fix homelessness? Are you ready, chat? It's going to blow your fucking minds. Provide shelter for everyone. That's it. That's the whole thing. If you have a home, you're not homeless. Holy fucking shit. No, not even UBI. UBI is part of that. But I don't want you to have to spend any money on rent at all. Just literally give them places to stay. Tasha, thanks for the 29 month. Jesus loves you so much and he died on the cross for you. You ever love somebody so much that you fucking off yourself because your dad was incapable of loving them without offing you? Pretty rough, man. Yeah. The answer is not making people work for it. That's true.
Every day, it seems to get worse. Why?
Why? Capitalism.
Let's start with a couple facts.
Oh, God.
First, the word itself is misleading. Homelessness is not primarily a housing problem.
It is.
It's a human problem.
What? It's a poverty problem. It's literally a problem. What do you mean it's not a housing problem? Is he saying it's not a housing problem because there are empty houses around? Because, boy, it's a poverty problem.
The primary drivers of homelessness are
poverty,
drug addiction, and mental illness.
So wouldn't it behoove you to provide health care services to people in the United States? One that could both treat drug addiction in a humane way and also help people with mental health issues free of charge, so that if they are incapable of having a tremendous amount of capital under the current system, they are not gated out from the services they so clearly need. Wouldn't that be a fucking beautiful solution? Jesus Christ. Oh no, but if they're not paying for it, then they're just leeches. We won't want them to be productive members of society. Nope. We won't want them to have good lives. They've already fucked it up. They were addicted to the marijuana. It's over for them. I died for you 2 millennia before you were born. Therefore, you're not allowed to masturbate or say swears. Get fucked. Yeah. I'm definitely fucking. Yeah, sorry, Jesus. I'm going to be fucking, please.
According to data from UCLA's California Policy Lab, approximately 3/4 of people living in cars, tents, and on the streets suffer from serious mental illness, drug addiction, or both.
You don't say. It's almost as if we could address these things prior to them being problems.
Second, despite these conditions, the homeless actually make rational decisions about where they want to live. Not surprisingly, they move to the most permissive environment they can find.
What is this? What? So this guy just said, basically, homeless people can feel temperature. Thanks, man. All right, cool. Wouldn't you, right?
Make your city attractive for the homeless, and they'll beat a path to your doorway.
What do you mean attractive to the homeless? What does that mean? What? I'm ready to dehumanize homeless people. Oh yeah, it's happening. It's already happening. Make it attractive to the homeless. I don't want the fucking homeless here.
The Venice Boulevard underpass on the border of Los Angeles and Culver City brings home this point.
Okay.
It's one of thousands of concrete structures in Los Angeles County, but there's a curious detail. The Los Angeles side is full of tents, and the Culver City side is empty. Why?
Because one side has criminalized being homeless.
Because the two cities have different public policies.
Yes. One side criminalizes homelessness.
Los Angeles has effectively decriminalized public camping and drug consumption,
Yeah.
while Culver City enforces the law.
Yes, I said that. We said the same thing. You literally criminalize being homeless. Poverty, in this case, severe poverty and mental illness and drug addiction, those three things, those are criminalized. What? Why? For what it's like criminalizing fucking someone getting a broken arm. They're not going to be as effective doing arm stuff, so well, you can't be productive in the lever factory if you have a broken arm then, chief. What the fuck? How are they this fucking stupid? Well, if only we criminalized it, surely they would make more money? What? What? What do you mean? The problem of homelessness is they don't have money to live. Criminalizing it does what? Ban being poor? How the fuck does that make any sense, you dumb piece of shit? That's fucking stupid.
This pattern that the homeless go where the policy environment is the most permissive.
Well, yeah, because they need to go somewhere. They can't go nowhere. Did you know that homeless people must go somewhere if they exist? They need to be a place. Like what? If you blame homeless, homelying? If you blame the homeless, you'll never be able to address homelessness, as I'm assuming. Yeah, of course.
Can be seen up and down the West Coast.
It can be seen everywhere.
In San Francisco County, it's estimated that 30% of the homeless migrated there after becoming homeless somewhere else.
Well, yeah.
In the city of Seattle, that number is 51%.
Well, yeah. Migrated. Because they didn't live in San Francisco or in Seattle because they were too expensive to live in. So they moved from out of those spaces and into them.
San Francisco Chronicle estimates that hundreds of homeless individuals move to the Bay Area each year because of the perception that it is a sanctuary for people who are unwilling to participate in programs designed to get them off and keep them off a life in the streets.
Okay. All right. So if the idea is to have programs that are designed to keep them off the streets or get them off and keep them off a life in the streets. Okay. So here's a program that will certainly work. 100% I guarantee this will work. Just try it. Guarantee in the United States that every person will be given shelter. That's it. Done. Easy. How so? Well, you said that they're not willing to seek out these services. So if you see a homeless person, instead of taking them to jail and criminalizing their situation, well, you could have situations where instead of putting them in the old paddy wagon, you could have community outreach and be like, hey, would any of you like to move from the place you are under this bridge, outside on this park bench, whatever this might be, and would you like to come to a place where you have shelter, where you have a private bathroom, where you have a place to keep your things, where you have a place to be safe, where you can lock it up? Okay? Just offering someone the human dignity of their own privacy and their own shelter, wherever they're at. And it doesn't have to be in San Francisco or in Seattle. It could be in a suburb somewhere. It could be around those places. It could be a town adjacent. It doesn't have to be, we don't have to build it into the infrastructure of every city. It just has to be available in a place. And we can provide transportation to these places through the many municipal transportation avenues that we have. in whatever way that manifests. We have lots of opportunities here to do these things. In some cases, we won't even have to necessarily build these things, but sometimes we can. There are dead malls all over this country just taking up real estate that we could convert into apartments for people that don't have anywhere to go. They don't have to be luxury apartments. They don't have to be humongous. They don't have to be long-term. We don't have to be talking about someone living their start-to-finish life in one of these places. But we can also say, if you'd like to live in this place forever, fucking go for it. You're a human. You deserve dignity. You deserve a place to stay. On top of that, of course, we should offer health and mental health services. This includes dental and vision, like I said before. Cilia, thank you so much for, or Arcilla, thanks for following. So if you have access to healthcare now, because you are a homeless person, now you can go, like, say, maybe you have that chronic illness. Maybe you have a mental health thing happening. Rachel Rambles, thank you so much for gifting one to Sartek. Maybe you have a drug addiction. You can get these things addressed for free just by having them there. So that means that you can now have a place to stay safe. You're not on the streets, so you're not making this white guy's city ugly or whatever the fuck he thinks. You're not, you're not sullying his sidewalks or his urban sprawl, but instead you are becoming what he wants you to be, which is a productive member of society. So you also have access to education under my system, of course. So if you are a person that maybe you are a veteran, the majority of homeless people are in fact veterans. KX Starwell, thanks for the 19 months. If you, in fact, have PTSD or something or other mental health issues that happen from your service or caused by your service or exacerbated by your service, maybe, of course, you could get these things fixed. I am a leftist. I support the troops, okay? I also think, obviously, the ability to go and pursue any education is just fulfilling in general to anybody. Whether they have aptitude or not is irrelevant. If they don't have the aptitude for it, they're not going to succeed, and that's fine. If people don't have the aptitude for some jobs, that's okay. UBI is another great example of something like this. So UBI would allow people at every level, including myself and including you and including a poor person, including a rich person, although we'd probably at $1 million, I say you don't need UBI, or somewhere at 500K. I don't know. I'm willing to shut it off at a certain high level. I don't know what that level is. We can talk about it. It's probably lower than 500K. I don't care. I'm also fine if we just keep it. Just fucking give it to them. I don't give a shit. Okay? Because that shit's it's just gonna continue to circulate. If you gave people $1,000 a month, just $12,000 a year, just for existing, everyone would have more money to spend on things in capitalism, which is good. You want your markets to be rotating money through them. You would also have a situation where even if you were homeless, you would still have access to resources to mitigate the effects of homelessness on you. Be able to be clean, be able to be safe, be able to have the things that you need to be healthy and happy. And these things would just create a society in which people were just more likely to succeed in it. And that's all it is, right? Even under capitalism, these things are all super incredibly viable for capitalism. Now, I don't think capitalism is the long-term answer, but for a little bit, this would basically be like a form of it'd just be capitalism with some socialist things. And basically, it's not even market socialism yet. So, why are you against these things? These are all things that we could easily take on that would fix homelessness pretty much overnight. Overnight.
At first glance, this would seem to make no sense. Why would an individual with no shelter or stable source of income move to one of the most expensive cities in the country? But in the world of the homeless, it makes perfect sense. That's because they operate...
Look at this. Look at the example of this homeless person. It's just dehumanizing. They're sad, they have a beard, they're scraggly, they got a scarf and a repurposed Duray vest, patches on shit, pants that don't fit, they're not tucked in. What the fuck, dude?
Under a different set of incentives than the average citizen.
They're just different than us, guys. Homeless people, they're just so different, okay? They're just, we don't think the same. Dehumanizing. They're just dehumanizing them.
In a research survey of homeless migrants in Seattle, 15% said they came to access homeless services, 10% came for legal marijuana.
Sure.
And 16% were transients who were traveling or visiting when they decided to set up camp.
Sure. Legal marijuana does a lot of things for a homeless person. As a legal marijuana enjoyer, I'm not homeless, but I could be at some point. Who knows? As a legal marijuana enjoyer, there are some benefits to having marijuana if legalized, if in fact you are homeless. Number one is definitely self-medication. It mitigates pain, which obviously, if you're homeless, you're more likely to be experiencing discomfort from your living situation. You're not going to have a lot of the amenities that human beings are, not only like are acclimated to, but I mean, we need them to some extent. We're not tigers. We're people, and we have evolved a sort of our bodies need certain things. We need clothing. We need shelter. We need to be able to clean ourselves. We need dental care, stuff like that. And if you have like a bum ankle like myself, if I'm homeless, I'm walking a lot, right? And so if I can smoke weed in a place that's legal, I'm not going to go to prison for it, which is great. And I'm also going to be able to self-medicate, which is good. Also, obviously, I don't think homelessness in America is a terribly joyous occasion for a lot of people. Some people, I'm sure, very much enjoy it, and they're fine with their freedoms and stuff. And like I said, we could take care of homelessness unless you want to opt out. If you want to opt out and you want to be homeless, again, I'm for freedom. I want you to be able to live the life that you want to live. And if not having a home is one of those things, great. But if you need a place to stay, it's always available. That's fine. I'm fine with that, right? So mental health. Mental health is another thing that marijuana would do. Obviously, it helps you to have a little bit like for me, it slows my brain down so I don't overthink about stuff. And it also, I don't have a lot of stress. I'm not a very stressed out guy, but it definitely reduces my stress. It also makes me happier and a little bit more, what's the word? Amenable, I guess. It makes me a little bit more, it's not kind. I'm not a dick all the time anyway. I'm a pretty kind person. I think it makes me a little bit more empathetic, maybe. Not all the time, but just sometimes I feel like, and I might have a longer leash with somebody as far as my patience, because my brain moves so quickly. It's probably like an ADHD thing. My brain moves super quickly, so if I know where you're going with something, like when you're saying something, I get just irrationally frustrated sometimes. By like, yeah, I know what you're saying. Can we like get to the next point? Because I already know what you're saying, and I feel like you're talking down to me, even though it's not the case. And I know it's my dumb brain. But sometimes it feels this way. And I've talked to Sarah about this before, where like she might be talking about something. I'll be like, yeah, I get it. And then I'm like, wow, I don't know why I felt the urge to say that. But I did. Please continue. I'm sorry. Like basically, you know what I mean? It's just a little relaxing, and it's makes you amicable. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's a little bit just more like it slows me down enough so that I can go at other people's pace. I'm not saying I'm a brain genius. I'm just saying my brain goes 5,000 miles an hour, and part of being witty is kind of being ahead of the like the conversation, I guess. And so it's like a little bit of my cross to bear. Yeah, it makes you easy-going, I think, is a good word. And not all the time. Like, I'm not high right now. I don't think I'm very big dick. But, it just helps people, medicate. I appropriate you expressing, I don't know what that means.
But this dramatically understates the biggest draw of all, the de facto legalization of street camping, drug consumption, and property crime.
Street camping is not a big deal. Who gives a shit? If you want to be on the street in a public space, it's America. You're free to do that. I appreciate you expressing. Oh, I see. Yeah, thanks. Drug consumption, freedom, bitch. Freedom. I get to take whatever I fucking want. Property crime. The only reason property crime exists in the homeless population is because of the link between survival, the necessity of survival, and how survival is so strongly linked to the necessity for capital, right? If you unlink survival and capital, you will see less crime. That's just a fact. Capitalism is the bad guy here. You are forcing people without capital to survive in a system that basically requires capital for that. And so what's going to happen? They're going to try to take things. Not all the time. Not every homeless person fucking steals shit, but you're incentivized to steal shit. But of course you are. Right? Why wouldn't you be? You're not giving them opportunities anywhere else. You're not allowing them to have a place to stay. You're saying they can't fucking live where they live. You're saying they can't self-medicate. They have to be able to buy it legally somewhere. And you're saying that they have to have capital to survive. I mean, solve the problems. You're just harming people for figuring out a way to solve this problem.
As former Seattle Public Safety Advisor Scott Lindsay has shown, the city is now home to a large population of homeless, prolific offenders.
I could fix this in Seattle immediately by doing these same things on just a city level.
People who commit property crimes to feed their addictions.
Or to feed themselves. What about just feeding themselves?
But are rarely held accountable for those crimes by the criminal justice system. So,
What do you mean rarely? What? Homeless people are put in jail and prison all the time. What?
is ever-increasing homelessness our inevitable future?
Look at this. Again, it's just dehumanizing all these people. Need help. And you're saying that they're shitty for this? What?
If our goal is to make life as attractive as possible for the homeless, the answer is yes. If our goal is to actually help the homeless, the answer is no.
Okay, so explain how you want to actually help the homeless. Let's hear it.
Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner is a Democrat,
Sure.
but his approach to homelessness is a world apart from his counterparts in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Seattle.
So does he do anti-homeless architecture?
It is simply not acceptable for people to live on the streets. It is not good for them, and it is not good for the city.
Okay, so how do you mitigate this part? It's not good for them. So what is this part? I agree it's not good for, I don't know about acceptable. It's not good for people to live outside of shelter. I tend to agree with that, okay? I disagree with the framing of this sentence, but I'm fine with the overall gist of it being, hey, I think it's not necessarily good that there's people forced to live on the street. Now, people choose to live on the street, fucking who cares?
Turner has said. Houston's policy is a perfect example of what Turner calls a tough love approach.
Tough love. Oh, good. He's a shitty Kristen Sinema blue dog Democrat.
The city has built housing for the chronically homeless, formed a coalition of nonprofit partners,
Well, good. They built housing. That's good.
and lobbied the state government for more mental health and addiction services.
These are good things.
At the same time, Turner has enforced a strict ban on public camping
That's bad.
and promoted a citywide
He did like a quarter of a good thing. Secret. He also ships them off to L.A.
campaign to discourage citizens from giving money to panhandlers.
What? Why? It literally says anything helps, and you're just not going to give them any money. Homelessness is one of those things that I think I could really fix. Like just in policy alone. I know that, you know, it's easy to say that, oh, we need healthcare. Easy to say that. It's a little bit harder to detangle it, and it would take a smarter person than I, probably my cabinet after I'm president, to put together like a reasonable way to detangle private healthcare and make it public healthcare, right? That's more complicated than that. This isn't complicated. Give people places to live and give them the means to seek health, and give them the means to seek betterment in whatever way that they decide that is, whether that's through education, job seeking, whatever it is. And don't make capital part of survival. That's it. That's all we got to do. Easy.
The results are as instructive as they are stunning. Over the past
These are bad policies. It's like about 25% good policy and then just shit.
years, Houston has reduced its homeless population by 54%, while it has skyrocketed in West Coast cities.
But he moves.
Different policies, different results. Where a Seattle politician opposes hosing down feces-covered sidewalks because hoses are racist,
What? I think maybe I think maybe it's racist to use hoses on black people. I looked up the article, it was nothing. Amazing. But if there's shit on the street, you can use a hose on that. I don't think even the wokiest wokerson, of which there are many in here, would think that hosing some poopy off of a street would be bad. But you know what would be better? You know what would be better than hosing shit off a street? Allowing homeless people to have places to shit. Everybody shits. It's a book. You can read it. It's called Everybody Poops, but I like Everybody Shits better. Like, why don't you just... Where did they get it from? I don't even know. Wait. I hope he's not calling... No. He's not calling people feces, right? More public toilets would be good. Surprise. Yeah, I know, right?
Houston fights in the courts for the right to clean up encampments. Where California progressives push for more drug injection sites and have decriminalized thefts under $950, Houston imposes consequences not only for theft, but for aggressive panhandling, window washing, and other street obstructions.
What? Window washing? Asking for money is criminal. This is fucking disgusting. How is that a good thing? How are you like, yeah, I'm for that? What?
As this Texas city has demonstrated, local leaders in cities of any size can meaningfully reduce homelessness through a strategy that mixes compassion with common sense enforcement.
No. How is any of this compassion?
If cities stop
Safe consumption sites literally save lives. Yeah,
allowing public encampments and open drug consumption and start prosecuting property crimes, they will have much more success redirecting the homeless away from a life of self-destruction and toward a life of hope through mental health treatment, drug rehab, and job training.
Just not the case. It just isn't what those things do. Like, I mean, that just straight up is not how anything works. So fucking annoying, dude. This guy's the worst. This guy's the fucking worst. Homelessness is something that we can beat together pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. I'm in Houston now, and those laws haven't changed shit. Surprise. Dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb.